back, first live for what feels like months, man. It probably is months. And
it is, isn't it? We've been gone a while.
There's a reason that we're back, and that is because it's a big day in our household. Not that we live together anymore, but still. It is a massive one, and yeah, man, we're previewing Saturday early kickoff, which is United versus City. Does anybody else feel sick? Is anybody else about to end dry January? I'm probably just finishing off the last few non-alcoholics as we speak.
Not me, bro. I'm feeling quite positive about things, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know why though. With that defence of yours, and Haaland don't know what the net is anymore.
Oh, here we go. Well, I'm sure Lemons will be reminding him what he looks like.
Yeah, I mean, is that for you? Like, I mean, I'm going to come straight to you. Obviously, you've drawn 3 in a row. You got a good win in the Carabao. Where are you at with like sort of? What are your expectations for Saturday? Clearly, you want to win. You need to win. Is there anything that you're like concerned about? Yeah, I mean, how do you see it going after your 3 draws in a row?
I think the pressure's massively on because we look at United and they're in absolute turmoil as usual, really. But this is worse than ever, and United are coming into this with Michael Carrick as the manager. The players look a bit bereft of ideas. They don't really know how to play anymore, don't know what they're playing. So it is on City massively, but I think some people are forgetting, they're going into this and they can be catfished a little bit by the performance against Newcastle, which was very good, by the way. But we do have a guy at centre-back who was playing for Watford, 2 weeks ago? Fair enough, he's looked okay since coming in, but we should have conceded 3 or 4 against Brighton, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
Next to him, you've got Kusanov, who, look, he's shown really bright signs. Again, he's stepped up in these recent games, but under the pressure, Alex, in a derby, I would be lying if I sat here and said it's not a concern, because it is.
How many? If you let's say 2:30, are you disappointed if you've not scored 2 goals minimum? Based on United's defence and how we can't stop bleeding.
Yeah, look, I mean, we have got to be looking at this very simplistic and just think, well, if we score more than them, they've got no chance of picking up any points, and we should score more than you, which I am optimistic looking at the new-look Manchester City team with Semenyo in it. I really think he should be smelling blood in this game. I mean, you look at an area you struggling massively. I mean, the whole defence in general, really, but them wide areas, I really think we have potential to hurt you with Doku and Semenyo, and I think we're going to be looking to exploit it.
We're going to come to the teams in a minute. We're going to come to what we pick and what we think our respective managers will pick. Obviously, a lot harder for me because this is Michael Carrick's first game, and it's a very much a baptism of fire here because he's got Manchester Derby and Arsenal back to back after Fletcher had, you'd have to say, 2 pretty good starters, and we didn't win either of them. He is the under-18s coach. I don't really know what we were expecting from that. Some of the 4-2-3-1 issues reared their ugly heads, particularly against Brighton, and Brighton are like a poor man City, and that worries me a lot because we couldn't get a kick against Brighton. Now, is Carrick going to run it back with this 4-2-3-1? Let's get into the teams because there's no point beating around the bush how big this game is for both. If Man United win this, we're in the top 4 race. That's how rubbish the teams around us are. Because if we win one of these 2, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool, Newcastle, they're not good enough to pull away from us if we win one of the next 2. I'm obviously looking at this. I don't think we're going to go to the Emirates and do anything. At home, City's defence,
You better ask.
Well, I fucking hope we do beat you. I'll tell you that for free. But anyway, firstly, we're going to do a watch along. We've not done a watch along for ages, so that's going to be Saturday. So please join us for that. And it's going to be dry January over because I can't stand derbies. I hate them. I didn't even like them when we used to batter you. To be honest,
Alex, they're awful, aren't they? Right? Do you remember? I don't know if your feeling is as bad as mine was as a kid because obviously we were going into derbies and you were so much better than City. I was always fearing the worst. I mean, it's not as bad. The gulf is not as bad as then. I don't think, anyway. Especially not this year. To be fair, it's maybe when we were really at our peak. But what's your feelings? Are you like as bad as I was as a kid, where the anxiety in your stomach is horrendous?
Yeah, because you've always got that thing of what if you get thumped, and we can play the way he could potentially set us up, which we're going to get into now. All signs could point to conceding 4 goals because We conceded 4 to Bournemouth. We conceded 2 to Brighton. We concede a lot of goals, and he's not going to go 3 at the back. And you know the irony is, he probably should go 3 at the back.
Before we go, yeah, I know, I agree with you actually. Before we get into the teams, Alex, if I made you this offer, and this is mad because anyone that's been watching the channel for a long time, they know your thoughts on Ruben Amorim. But going into this game, would you rather be heading into the match with Ruben Amorim in the dugout, or would you rather Michael Carrick and a fresh face?
Yeah, because obviously the unknown is scary, and you'd have to say that a back 5 is probably well suited to this fixture. I don't think United should play back 5s ever, but when you look at the alternative, what back 4 can we throw out that's going to be really what I can look at and go, I'm going to tell you what I would do. But really, if this is the one game where if you're going in and you see the team sheet and it's 5-5-2-3 or whatever he played, you're looking at it going, I can probably live with this, and I can probably live with it at Emirates next week as well. So
I agree with you, Alex. I agree with you because there's a few reasons. I think if you try and play the same way as City or like edge on what we do, we're going to beat you at it because we're much better. And we're going to play a very high line, which pens you in. Your best way out of that would have been counter-attacking because you could hurt us with the high line, especially with 2 inexperienced centre-backs as part of that back line, and Nunes, of course. And I think if you're going to just let us bop it about and dictate play, that's where it could be a long day for Man United.
I think United are going to go direct. I think there's things that I would do on Saturday that I hope Carrick's going to try and implement. I appreciate he's had a few days training.
Okay.
Direct is one, because Sesko is good in the air and he's good at holding it up. Højlund was not. So that is something I think that we should look into. Forget playing out from the back. It's just fucking pointless. We also get the ball nearer your worst bit of the pitch. I know long ball, you might say, well, what if it's a turnover? We've got to be aggressive on that. We've got to win Sesko has to win the first one, and then it's Cunha, Bruno, Ahmad, whoever is around Sesko, have to win that second ball. We did it well at Anfield. I know it was a slightly different system. The second ball is key, and when Sesko wins it, hopefully, then I want those 3 swarming the second ball, and then we can get at you. We can't play through you. I'm sorry, it's just fucking pointless. You're just asking for a turnover in an area where you're going to concede goals. So for me, I ain't really thinking it's going to be pretty, because you can't implement... Carrick can't get these lot passing out from the back, because think about it, if he plays Mainu, I'd say that's a risk because of what it can be like in there in a midfield too. He's the only one that can really receive it under pressure. If you go Casemiro and Ugarte, forget it, passing out from the back. So I'd go direct and I'd ask Cunha, Bruno and Ahmad to be aggressive on the second ball, and Ugarte and whoever else plays, which we'll come to in a minute. I mean, I assume you think that that's a good suggestion from if you put yourself in Carrick's shoes. What else can you do? How do you get at City?
Yeah, I'd say, look, you've got to play this game your way and not our way, because if you go down the route of trying to make yourselves look better than you actually are and playing our game, you are just playing into our hands, and it'll become a training session 3-0. Yeah. That's all I could say, being honest. So I think you've got to do something different. Our weakness is our back line. Our weakness was our back line when we were fully strength, Alex. Now we've got Max Alleyne and we've got Kusanov, who I would imagine is the centre-back partnership. And if you're going to get us, you can rough them 2 up, undoubtedly. And especially with the pressure, I always lean back to Alex with Kusanov. I really like him. But that Chelsea debut, I do struggle to get that out of my mind from a professional athlete, because it wasn't like he was 17 years old. And I do worry in these environments, if something goes wrong quickly in the first 2-3 minutes, could United be on us a little bit? And it could be, and that's why I think that's your best bet. But if United gets sucked in to what we want you to do, it is going to be long, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, he's got to think logically, and he's not got to, look, it's not hard for Le Mans to punt it 60 yards every single time he has a goal kick. And it could be effective. It was at Anfield, they were great. Cunha was particularly good on the second ball at Anfield. And it was a different system, though, and he had those 2 inside 10s, and then you're nearer Sesko. Let's get into the team sheet, and what do we think? I mean, we'll do City last, because it's not going to be... You and Pep aren't going to be a million miles away, are you? And I think everybody knows, give or take, how you're going to line up. There's probably 1 or 2 guys. It's like either maybe a midfielder or another attacker. Other than that, it is sort of as you were, really. Whereas United, we have no idea. Now, we saw Fletcher line up with a 4-2-3-1. Carrick he's going to have to line up with the 4-2-3-1 because everybody fucking hates the 5 at the back, even if it might be the day for it. But let's think about it, right? So firstly, this is an absolute non-negotiable decision. Dorgu right back, Shaw left back. You cannot play Dalot at right back. Forget it. If Dalot is Doku, it's very difficult for you to ask me that because I suppose everything's on the table with Carrick. Not everything, but you know, little decisions like that where it's like, does he?
That's a bit out there. Do you know what I mean by that question though, Alex? Is because that's a little bit out there. Rather than just go, the easy option would just be Dalot. Simple. Just put him in. No more said about it. It's the simple option. Him going Dorgu is a bit.
Well, it is, but he does play there for Denmark. I know, well, sort of a bit further forward, but he does. Yeah. I mean, he has played there under Amorim as well. I know what you mean. If he's coming in and playing safe, he's going to go Dalot, and then his excuse will be, if Doku shreds him, well, I ain't got any other right backs. Mazraoui's at AFCON, and I ain't playing Euro there, or any of the young lads, because they can't defend wide areas, so I would go Dorgu and Shaw. They're my 2 full-backs, and I don't think it's even close, and I can't have a pop at Carrick, because it's easy for me to say it, and then if Dorgu just, at least he matches up with Doku. I know it's the wrong side, but Dorgu's not pulling up mountains on the left either with his left foot. So to me, I'm just thinking athleticism match up. He's obviously better than Dalot IQ wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Dalot needs to be nowhere near Doku, right? Sure, then that means Shaw can play because Dorgu's on the other flank. So I'm quite happy with that, give or take. Then the centre backs. Now this is a fucking problem, right? This is a problem because you've got. Apparently De Ligt is training, but he's not played for 6-7 weeks now.
Yeah.
Do you chuck De Ligt in? Another big decision here. Does he play it safe? Does he go with Heaven or Yoro with Martinez, or does he go with De Ligt? Yeah. If De Ligt can go, you've got to do it. You might as well just roll the dice with De Ligt. Just because Heaven and Yoro are going to struggle. They're struggling every week anyway. Sorry, not Heaven. Yoro does. Yoro's been struggling for about 2-3 months now. Heaven is just a risk, man, because he's very aggressive. Look, they're against Haaland as well, so I think the other guy's got to be dominating. De Ligt is physically strong enough to win headers, and at least he matches up better with Haaland than the others. Maguire is okay at defending his box, but what if we get pulled out a little bit? Like in the return game at City, Maguire, you sat back and brought us onto you.
Yeah, you got sucked in. I know that was
different manager and different game scenario. You were 2-0 up. But obviously, if we're defending our box, I don't mind Maguire as much. But again, in a back 2 with Martinez, we spoke about it the other day. Maguire and Martinez played the Brentford game 3-4 years ago when we were 4-0 down at half time. So for me, personally, I would go De Ligt and Martinez and tell De Ligt to get a grip of Martinez. No wandering off. We know you're good on the ball. That's fine.
If he can't though, Alex, because bear in mind De Ligt obviously has been out for a while. I understand what you're saying. That he would be your preference, but if he isn't match fit, which we would expect, who is your alternative then?
Maguire. He'll have to be.
Is it?
Can't go Euro.
The Brentford 4-0.
You can't go Euro and Heaven in this. There's no way. Heaven. I mean, look. The only other thing you can do is Shaw centre back in a 2, which ironically Ten Hag did doing against you lot. In a back 4, but I think he might have been with Varane. So this is the problem we've got. We haven't got a Varane, obviously. I know it's not the hottest take. So I'm concerned massively with whatever he does there, because if De Ligt lines up, I've got rust issues and fitness. I mean, how long has he got? 95 minutes against Haaland in him? Maybe not. So that means I'm going to have to see somebody else at some point. Defensive subs. We're used to them at OT.
Yeah, we know you like them.
So that's where I'll go with it, really. The fullbacks for me are the ones where I do think there can be a bit of thought process and a bit of an educated risk with it, with Dorgu, with Dalot at right back, and telling to try and contain Doku. It could be Semenyo, couldn't it? Probably will be. But whoever it is, they're going to be quick, and you're going to have to match up. And Dalot, he's not overly athletic, and he's not very smart. He's just bad. He's bad at football. So it's a horrible matchup if Dalot plays, and that's a massive concern for me. So the fullbacks are non-negotiable. It's Shaw and Dorgu for me, and that's
okay. All right.
The biggest area of the pitch that I want to see from Carrick. Go with that, and then we come to the second worst area of the pitch, midfield, and Fletcher showed us that. Because we all forgot what that midfield's like in a 4-2-3-1, didn't we? We all did. We've all been shouting, banging the drum to change system, go play fucking Mainu. Well, yeah, this is interesting now, isn't it? Because we're all sat there now, and every United fan who's been banging the drum for Mainu, banging the drum for a 4-2-3-1, after Brighton, we're bopping it about at Old Trafford. We're all sat here now, looking ahead to the City game, going, what would you actually do? What would you do? Because I know what I would do, and I know he isn't going to do it because it's way too out of the box, but I would play Mainu, Ugarte and Casemiro in a midfield three, and I'd play Bruno behind split strikers of Mbeumo and Cunha is what I'd do. And
it's not the worst shout.
Actually, it worked in the FA Cup final when we was backs against the wall, when he played Rashford and Garnacho split strikers.
Yeah.
And the four midfielders that day were Amrabat, Mainu, Bruno, McTominay. So look, there's no obvious fix here. And I know I said when I said I'd go direct, that's because I know Sesko's going to play. He's going to play Sesko.
Alex, with that midfield, if you went with that midfield three, what's your reasoning in terms of, do you think you'd be better on the break? Do you think you'd have more control of the game? Or
yeah, because I don't think we've really got a good left winger because Cunha ain't going to stay out there. So if you play a 4-2-3-1, you're only playing it for Ahmad. You're not going to get width on the left. And if Shaw plays, he's not going to offer much anyway. So to me, I'm just thinking, well, just bin it and go with a diamond or like some sort of a diamond in there. You have bodies. The thing is with Casemiro, Ugarte, and Mainu, two of them, whatever two you pick, you have a problem. If it's Casemiro and Ugarte, you have no ball playing. If it's Mainu and Casemiro, you have no legs. If it's Mainu and Ugarte, you only have one ball player, and Ugarte's not very good defensively. He's just a bit smoke and mirrors. He ball chases and his positioning's shite. So they've all got arguments to play. Even Ugarte, before people come for me, they've all got a shout to start because Ugarte is the fittest and he can get about City and press them, right? Which is important against City. We've seen it before with Fred. Fred played key roles against City in the years he did. Amrabat in the cup final. Casemiro experience, and he's good positionally. Casemiro, he knows where to be, but he hasn't got the legs to get about. Mainu, ball playing. So you think, well, I can't pick two of the three. Let's pick all three, right? That means no wingers. I know that Bruno has to play 10. He's the captain. He's the best player. That leaves you with two strikers up front.
Alex, are you then a little bit worried though if you went with that you've not got any sort of help in terms of tracking back? We see a lot of teams go with a double up on Doku, for instance, and that would then maybe leave you a little bit short, especially when the fullback's out. Right?
One of them's got to shuffle over. It's a simple 4-3-3 system. So if Mainu is the right centre mid, they've got to be structured. It can't just be a fucking them three running up. They've got to be. If Casemiro's the DM, he's the DM. If Mainu is the left centre mid, Shaw pulls him over if needed. Ugarte comes over to the right with Dorgu to help on Semenyo or Doku, and it has to be structured. You can't just them three in midfield and they fuck off all over the place. It's like, you know, at Barcelona, Xavi was the right centre mid, Busquets was the DM, and Iniesta was the left centre mid. They operated in those areas for the full game. You have to structure this. And then Bruno's the 10 behind split strikers. This worked in the FA Cup final. In my opinion, in a moment where we were very worried for the game, and it worked. And I'm thinking, well, let's just. Is Carrick's mind going to go there and go, well, Rashford, Garnacho were the split strikers that day. I've got Cunha and Mbeumo, who are better. I've still got Fernandes, I've still got Mainu, so it's basically Casemiro, Ugarte in for Amrabat and McTominay. So it's not that bad in comparison to the cup final day. Now you're going to say, well, City didn't turn up at the cup final. Now I get that, but I'm looking at it from a perspective. City play 4-3-3. At least I know I've got three midfielders in there. If Bruno starts doing that mad pressing shit he does. So that's what I would do, right? And Sesko and Ahmad would be my subs, and I believe both of them can come on and give a massively different look to whatever we're doing there.
That's a big call. I wasn't expecting that from you, especially with the Ahmad one. Are you saying that more because of him recently being away at the AFCON and just coming back, or are you actually thinking tactically this could benefit you?
I mean, I love Ahmad. I think he's brilliant, but I think that the six I've picked has to be that six.
Do you not think there's Do you not think there's a bit of a worry though, Alex? Because you always say about Ahmad, you need him playing because of his ability to receive the ball, retain possession, and actually has got decent control.
The way I want to set it up in this 4-3-3 with a false 9 in Bruno's the 10 split strikers, there's no obvious fit for Ahmad. Where does he go? And Mbumo's definitely better in that split striker role. If you're going to go with that, Ahmad in a midfield 3 is something I think we could consider in the future. To do it right now would be mental. So the way I'm setting up, there's just not an obvious position for Ahmad.
Yeah.
Now, in the 60th minute, if we're 1-0 down, 2-0 down, hook Ugarte and bring Ahmad on and shuffle the pack a little bit, and maybe go 4-2-3-1. Sesko for Mbeumo or Cunha is a massively different look for City. So that's what I would do. I do not think Carrick's going to do that.
How much different? We'll do yours completely first, yeah. So how much different do you think Carrick's lineup looks to yours? I know, given it's hard because we haven't really we've not seen anything of what he's going to do. But what's your thoughts?
I think it's going to be 4-2-3-1, and I think he's just going to go with. I think he might do Ugarte Casemiro, and I think he might bench Mainu. That's what I think he'll do, and I think he will play Ahmad, and he might bench Mbeumo. That's what I think he'll do. I think Carrick's team. I will see. Obviously, we'll see in 48 hours.
When you talk about the goals, Alex, I know Sesko started dipping in a little bit, but I mean, taking Mbeumo out, that's a big. I'm not sure I'd be doing that.
I think he's going to go Ahmad, Bruno, Cunha behind Sesko, and then Casemiro and Ugarte. That's what I think Carrick will do. Which is funny, isn't it? Because obviously everyone's been banging the drum for Kobbie Mainoo to play. The only way Mainoo can play, in my opinion, is if you go 4-3-3. And I don't believe
I agree, by the way.
He's going to play Bruno 10. He's going to play it safe in some areas. Bruno 10. He's not going to mess around too much. So that's sort of what I think I would do, what I think Carrick's going to do. And I worry for both, really, because it's not like I don't feel great about my team, but I feel a little bit better just knowing I've got Casemiro, Ugarte and Mainoo. I think, okay, well, there's a blend of attributes there that if they all play well, I can see... If Ugarte has a good game pressing, if Casemiro is positionally good, and Mainoo's great on the ball, I think, okay, well, I don't think we're going to get battered, for example. I do think City, we're going to come to City in a second, I think City will go Reinders. I think Reinders will play in this game. So I do think he'll be Reinders.
Really?
Yeah, I think Reinders will play in this game.
Who for, Alex?
I think Cherky will miss out. I think Foden will play, and that may be the wrong call, but... If you ask me what
remember,
will do...
So you're thinking, but Foden can't play as well, because you're going to have a midfield 3, so you're going to have Rodri or Nico Gonzalez as the whole.
Yeah. So for me...
Bernardo will play.
Bernardo.
So then that leaves one. So that position is between Foden, Cherky and Reinders.
I forgot about Bernardo. It's going to be Bernardo, Rodri, Foden, and then Cherky.
This is it. I mean, I'll give you... Yeah, I'll give you my thought. Just one more thing on United, mate. So with the fullbacks, obviously you said what you wanted. What do you think he will go with? Do you think he'll just play it safe? Because I do. Well, I say play it safe. Yeah. It's more like a sacrificial lamb sending Dalot out to have a go at Jeremy Doku, but
probably will, won't he? I mean, he's got the excuse of, well, I had 4 days with them.
Yeah.
Dalot's played there for what feels like 20 years. So.
Alex coming in, the reason I think he goes that is because, very similar to what you said, if he goes with something out of the box and that guy has a stinker inside 20 minutes and Doku has him on his arse, then the heat is on Carrick straight away. Whereas if he just plays Dalot and he's on his arse with Doku in 20 minutes, they're going to go, right, well, what can we say? He's just miles better than him. Do you know what I mean?
I'd sit there on Saturday if the team sheet comes out and he's got Doku right back. I'd sit there and go, I actually get his thought process. Like, it might not work. Yeah. It might not work.
Attributes wise, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all calculated gambles, isn't it, in these games? I mean, fuck knows if.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Guardiola's going to have to roll with Kusanov and Elaine. I mean, that these things are always you're hoping you come out on the right side of it. But at least I can sit there and go, he just thinks Dalot's shit, and he's gone with what he thinks is the next best. And I would, even if Dorgu has a mare, which in fairness to Dorgu, unless playing at right back throws him off completely, one thing he is pretty good at is athleticism.
Yeah.
And he's going to need it. We're going to need it in abundance with Doku, and well, he could have both of them, couldn't he? Because Doku could come on in the 60th, 70th minute, so you might end up fucking playing both. We ain't got Wan-Bissaka anymore to just chuck over there. You deal with Doku, mate. We ain't got that. So, to me, look, it's a gamble for whatever he does, really. I mean, I'll just be a bit disappointed if it's what Fletcher did. If it's what Fletcher did and we get battered, I'll be really, really pissed off. If it's Ugarte, Mainu, Bruno, Dalot, right back, I'll be very, very disappointed with Carrick because I expect better. And I think there's stuff that I can sit there and go, if he did something like I said, and maybe people might watch this and go, well, I fucking hate your team. But in my opinion, I go, well, at least he's thought about it. At least he's not just rolled into training this week and gone, what was the last team sheet, Jonathan, and just picked it. Like, you know, if he looked at it and went, right, City are pretty fucking good, right, okay, well, let me think about how I can stop City and also hurt them, clearly. You've got to get up and you've got to get at them. Well, okay, well, you know, that to me, my team, I think, gives you the best chance of that. You can still lose doing whatever because you're obviously better in most areas. But the 4-2-3-1 that Brighton took apart, I just don't see the point in it.
No. Yeah, I think that's fair. I get most of that.
What's the point in running that? Fucking what? Bernardo, Rodri, and Foden instead of whoever they threw out on Sunday at Brighton. What are we doing? What are Ugarte and Maine going to be better against City? It's not going to happen, is it? So you could go Casemiro and Ugarte. I'd probably go, well, okay, yeah, maybe he's thought I need two defensive players. But then how do you get out? You know, then you've got no midfielder who can pass.
Ugarte for me is a concern, him being anywhere near the starting 11. Sometimes I think people think too much of it. Just because a guy is recognised in that position doesn't mean he's necessarily better. Doesn't mean he's actually better than a guy who's more offensive. You know what I mean? You could get more out of playing a different three. No, that's my opinion.
He's poor defensively, Ugarte. Positionally, he's good at running round. He's good at running round, and in fairness, like, look, you know, I always thought Fred. Whenever we beat you, Fred always had a good game. Fred. It wasn't just that with Fred. He had the odd game where he was good on the ball, and a lot of them came against City in the wins against City, where he was actually good on the ball in them games. Ugarte never has a good game on the ball, so there's no floor ceiling like Fred. Yes, he went from, you know, one of the best players on the pitch one game to the worst player on the pitch. Ugarte's very consistent. He's shit, but what would you do? Would you go Casemiro, Mainu? I mean, how are you even going to get about Bernardo, Rodri, and Foden with that? You're going to get.
I don't think you get about it any other way. I think you've got to approach it in terms of attacking City in moments and catching us out. Like, we're going to push up and play a high line. I think if United play us smartly, this is why I would actually go with a 4-3-3. And I would put Bruno as part of the three. I think he used to play further in the centre of the pitch anyway now. I don't think you need to sacrifice an offensive player to put Bruno further forward for the sake of getting Ugarte and who's dog shit. I would go flat. I'd go flat 4-3-3. Casemiro, Bruno, and Mainu. Honestly, I get that's offensive, but I'm thinking you would be well capable to hit us in moments. Then Bruno
wants to play.
Look, I don't honestly think it matters that much because City are going to play their game anyway, regardless of what you try and do here. But I'm just thinking United in moments, having Bruno in that area where, yes, we know he can be wasteful with passes, but he can also hit them. And he's had a good few moments in derbies.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got to play. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he can't come out. But
Alex, I'll tell you one thing, though, just for you. I don't know if you noticed this when you're watching City, right? So did you watch the full game against Newcastle?
Most of it, yeah.
Okay, so a lot of the time when Manchester City are playing, this year, we are getting caught out. It happened against Spurs at the start of the season. Yeah. We get caught out with that diagonal pass, and then they're in behind, and the runners are quicker than our centre-backs. And then suddenly, the across-the-ball pitch is on, across the box. Like it happened with Visa. Happened with Voltemara as well, and they fucked both up, luckily. But that is an area where United could hurt us, and I think if you go with yours, there is that lack of width. I do think you need that, because if you play to our strengths, and you go so central, we will swarm you and keep possession too much, I believe.
You know, I suppose Ahmad on the right, cutting in against...
That's what I'm saying. Ahmad's got to play. Ahmad's got to play for me, yeah.
Yeah, I think he will play. I don't think he will do what I did. And I like Ahmad. Like I said, I'm coming from a position where I was thinking, contain for a bit and just be solid, be strong, be aggressive in midfield, and I'm hoping that Cunha and Mbeumo, if they get a chance, they fucking take it. So look, there's massive lot of feel for Carrick because, you know, the indecision from all of us might come up with something different here, and ultimately he's the one that's taking charge of his first United game, and he's not got an obvious 11. You'd probably say, what has he got obvious in the team? Le Mans is the only one you'd go, we'd all do that. We've all probably got our reasons. Some people might want to go Cunha as the 9. Some people might want to go Sesko as the 9. Some people might want to play Mbeumo on the right and drop Ahmad. Like, there's so many things where there's no obvious yes. Like I said, Ugarte, Casemiro, Menu. There's arguments for all three to play.
It's a lottery pick, isn't it?
And that's the thing with Carrick, where I feel for the bloke, and look, it's going to be huge. So from your perspective, I mean, we sort of crossed over onto your team then anyway, but you think Foden, Rodri, Bernardo?
No, it's weird. Do you know what? Well, first of all, I'll go with what I would start in this match. So I would say you're going to go with the obvious in Donnarumma, Nunes right back. Not his biggest fan, but look, he has been okay, reasonable this season. We know where his areas he can be got at, and United might be able to exploit that a little bit. Kusanov and Elaine, I think, are starting, whether we like it or not. Kusanov has been really good, and this is a good game for him to step up because he's the senior in that back line now. He's got to step up here. I know technically Nunes, but he's more of an offensive fullback. So go them two. Left back, Nico Riley, solid, simple selection. Really has to start. Kept Aïnouri quiet. I know Aïnouri got an assist, but he's got a mountain to climb to get in the side. I would go Rodri if he is fit enough. I think that's standard. I know Nico Gonzalez got a little bit of a knock, so I think Rodri's going to have to play whether he likes it or not.
Yeah,
it's a difficult part, Alex, because you're looking at this, and I've been going through this all week, and I've been a bit worried about it with Semenyo coming in because I predicted Semenyo would come in and everyone going, oh yeah, he's fucked up, he's going to be sat on the bench. I told you he wouldn't. I said finally we've got a winger who scores. He ain't sitting on no bench because if you look at the front line, we lack goals apart from the number 9. So him coming in and he's going to be a recognised starter then means you can't go and slam Cherki on the wing. So it's like, hang on, Doku is always starting on the left. Haaland's in the middle, Semenyo's on the right. So then it's like, Bernardo starts every single game and you've got your Holder and Rodri. That leaves one position.
Do you think Doku's going to play? Do you think Doku's going to start there?
Oh, 100% Alex. He started every big game this season. Yeah.
That was before Semenyo though. Before Semenyo.
Yeah, but Semenyo starting on the right for us. And to be fair, if you look at... I did that
you're saying Cherki or Foden then?
Yeah, honestly, I think that's what it is. Well, Cherki, Foden or Reinders. There's 3 guys for one position, in my opinion. Personally, I would not play Bernardo, but I understand why he will. I understand why he will because he trusts him in these moments. It was like in the last few minutes against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Going back into our own half, there was no pass on, buys the foul. He's very clever. He's got the balls to do it in difficult situations. So I get why Pep, he's like a manager's dream. Me personally, Reinders has hit form. I think he's got like 4 in his last 5 or something like around them figures. He's really started to find the back of the net. I would go Reinders, Rodri, and I think you'd be surprised where I go Cherki, and I think Foden's missing out. I don't think he's lit it up recently.
So you're benching Bernardo and Foden?
I would, but that will not happen. But that's what I would do. Yeah, I think it's bold. I know he won't. Bernardo plays every single game, so that's not.
A little bit. Do you think there's any bit of like intel from the Newcastle game that Cherki was on the bench and Foden was starting? That maybe, Foden is going to come out for this and Cherki's.
Yeah, I believe so, Alex. And really, what's your opinion? You've watched these games of late. Foden had that period where he's racked his goals up, and I think he's got to like 8 league goals, 7-8 league goals, but. There has been a little bit of a dip, and then Cherki coming in and being as instrumental as he is. And I've noticed at the end of games when we were struggling, Alex, Chelsea, Brighton, Cherki comes on against Brighton. Immediately, the whole City team looked to Cherki to do something and bail us out the shit. Foden, I'm sorry, I can't say the same about him. He seems to stick in that little role where if he can wriggle around on the edge of the box, he's very dangerous and he'll probably find the bottom corners. But he can go through 70 minutes, bro, way too easily for my liking at the moment. And that's why I think Cherki has to play this game.
Do you think there's any pressure, though, that he's like a City lad and it's a Manchester derby to drop
Look, Alex, he's one of my favourite players.
If he drops Cherki, then that's not fair, right? So he is in a bit of a pickle, isn't he, where it's like...
It's a difficult spot.
I should probably bench Foden. If you're going down one, it's got to be one of the two. I think Doku's gonna. I think he'll play both. This is my prediction. I think he'll go Rodri, Bernardo, Foden, Cherki, Haaland, Semenyo, and Doku will be benched. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I can't see it because I think he likes what Doku gives us, and I think that would let you off the hook a little bit as well, because Doku in the big games, I really like having him there. As much as he is frustrating, he's not as frustrating when we've got Semenyo at the back post now. Because, as proven, his last delivery isn't great, but doesn't need to be. You've now got two killers in the centre. You've got Semenyo making late runs. I feel like if you play Cherki... Hang on, so I'm guessing you're meaning playing Cherki on the left.
Yeah.
Because Foden's played in the centre all the time.
So. We'll come to that comment in a minute, but it's funny. It's a funny one. No, I'm saying Foden 10. Foden 10, Semenyo right. Foden 10, Cherki right, Semenyo left is my...
You've got that, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
That's what I'm expecting. Would I play it? And I'd probably play Reinders over Bernardo. Let's just come to this comment here because this is funny. This guy here, we were talking about Amorim and sort of where we're going to be, and somehow, so we've got here, Alex, how the actual fuck was both I right about us being top 6 by Christmas and you right about Amorim being sacked? Absolutely mental. Time for you to be an optimist and being the doomsayer. You know what's funny, mate? I do remember our comments, by the way. Shout out you. What was funny, I think it might have been this guy as well. We were talking about the fixture list, and it was like, when the fixture list gets easier, you're going to see the proper Amorim United. He was actually terrible against the easier fixtures. You know, in the last 11 games, he's only won 3 of them. But he still was 6th.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's weird.
Somehow, I actually predicted, I was like, he's going to do rubbish in these fixtures because he's not done great against bottom half teams. But he stayed 6th.
No, it's crazy, isn't it? Alex, the one thing as well with Amorim, I'm not sure, like, overall his record was that bad in terms of wins. He can't have got that many. But against the big teams, it did seem he did okay. Even if you lost, it was never like by a ridiculous margin.
It was always like when he had 60% of the ball, Amorim, we struggled, and you know, it's not obviously a risk.
It highlighted your deficiencies, didn't it, when you had more possession?
Isn't it? I mean, if you dominate the ball, you want to be winning the game. Carrick's a dogshit manager, falling out. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, I don't know if you watched our episode on Carrick, but I think these 2 games are really difficult starters for him. Just generally, I think anybody, if you put Ancelotti in, he could lose these 2.
Yeah.
And then I'm worried about, is the morale so low? You get past City and Arsenal, they're in the past, and then you face with your mid-table fixtures, whatever they are. Is the morale so bad there's just no chance of resurrecting it? Do you know what I mean? Like that to me is like the thing of... I am worried a little bit with that because it's... If the morale drops with this squad, we've seen what can happen with an interim. We saw it with Ranić. We saw it at the back end of Solskjaer. When he was interim, he got the full-time job, and then going into the summer, they all down tools again.
Alex, this is the risk, bro, because you've gone Carrick and saying that he's not going to carry on after the end of the season. So it could be like when you're a naughty kid in school and you see the supply teacher coming and you've got him for a few lessons. Yeah. You're like, well, we've got a free hit here. We can just fucking take the piss. And if that starts happening, we know this United bunch, like you were just saying, they've got it in them. So if that starts happening, I mean, I've seen a couple of things of people online and they're talking about relegation scrap. I tell you what, under Carrick, it could go west very, very quickly.
Could definitely go bottom half. You'd like to think the talent with Amadou and Mbumo back and Cunha and Sesko, we've got enough talent to start beating some teams. But 38% win rate, never lost to Liverpool. That's mad, isn't it? Amorim never lost to Liverpool. After how bad our record was. And we won at Anfield. We should have won at Anfield a year ago when it was 2-2. Yeah. Obviously did win this season. The Amorim era, man, and we won at City last season. It was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was meant to tell you here, this comment here on Foden. Right, Foden's record against United is ridiculous. It is probably going, okay, well, I play Cherki because Cherki's playing better, but Foden's got a good record against United. I mean, you know, at the beginning of the season, he scored 1 in 10, Foden, didn't he? The one was against United.
Yeah, it was a good header as well.
So...
I think, look, I understand, mate. I appreciate the comment, and I do agree with you. By the way, I think he will play Foden. By the way, I'm just talking off form and of late the performances. Foden has the ability to go through 70 minutes, and it's getting a bit frustrating for me. And especially when I'm watching Cherki come onto the field and he's making an impact within 2-3 minutes, it is starting to frustrate me looking at Foden ghosting an hour. I do completely hear where you're coming from, and the simple option will be to go Foden, and I wouldn't be surprised if he scores. So
just Mr. Broski in the chat. What team would you play if it was you? And obviously we got a flavour of the 4-2-3-1, and I don't know if you were at the beginning of the episode with us, but thank you for joining us anyway. But at the beginning of the episode I was talking about the 4-2-3-1 and the Ten Hag, the midfield getting diced through. We saw a flavour of it against Brighton. What would you do? What team would you pick if it was you, Mr. Big Browski? You're the manager for Saturday. What would you play? Because I was saying to my brother, this is probably the one you would play a back five in. not that you know, I get Carrick cannot do that, but I'm just saying this is the one, innit, Christian, where Amorim turns up with Dalot, Yoro, De Ligt, Martinez, Shaw, and you go, you know what?
Alex, it's very strange, isn't it? Because you look at the centre backs you've currently got available, and you're thinking, what does that suit really? You'd be playing a back three would be better.
Do you remember when Southgate played Maguire, Stones and Walker, and Southgate said, I just don't have full confidence playing two of them three. So I went with the three, and Walker as the inside centre back worked really well, obviously. He started there with Le Mans. I agree. Le Mans is the only one. He's the only one I can actually have confidence in starting and playing. The rest of them are all up for debate, in my opinion. But yeah, no, it's all right, mate. Just it was with the just do them one by one if you want. Just do player by player if the chat's playing up. But yeah, man. I mean, Christian, if let's play some stupid hypotheticals here, right? If City don't win, right, where does this leave you with the rest of the season? I don't know who Arsenal have got. Let's just assume they win.
Yeah.
Are you out of the title race if you slip up to United this weekend and Arsenal win?
I think personally we're hanging by a thread anyway, because Arsenal are doing just enough to tick over, and I feel like City have got to be perfect from now till the end of the season. Alex, if you look at our backline, that backline, it's not going to be perfect, is it? You know what I mean? So we need a change in fortune in terms of Arsenal's results. If they keep going the way they're going in their trajectory, we are not winning the league. I'll just put that out there. But yeah, I mean, where it would leave us if we don't win, well, even less than what I've just said. I mean, yeah, we would be in dire straits. I think the league has been really poor this season. I mean, the fact that United win and suddenly it's like, hang on, United are in it here. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
They were in a top four. They were, to my guys' comments in the chat, when me and him were arguing about Amorim, he got sacked and we were in a top four race. And that is the facts of the situation. Amorim was doing terrible, but he was in a top four race, and that's the magic.
I think that's the thing.
But it's more like you said. It's damning with it's more a reflection on the season itself and the teams in the league, isn't it?
Well, his whole reign, wasn't it? If you look at his whole reign, then it's a no-brainer to have got rid of him. But yeah, I think it is going to be interesting. For me, obviously, you think that he's going to go Cherki and Foden and drop Doku. I'd be surprised, because I think Pep loves the width and he loves that Doku has that ability to hurt teams. So I do think he's going to get him in there, but then it does leave a bit of a selection headache. Pep ain't shy, man. You know, would any of us be that shocked if he goes Foden and Cherki on the right, Doku plays with Haaland and Semenyo as an impact sub? None of us would be that shocked, because his reasoning would be, well, you know, first Manchester derby, I'm going with this because I think it's the best team to win. They know the system. They know how I want to play. I trust these players. Semenyo's a big impact off the bench. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't agree with it. But
I mean, you've got some good options. I mean, yeah, let's come to Broski's team here. Le Mans, obviously, then he's gone. Dalot, Martinez, Heaven, Dorgu, Casemiro, Ugarte, Bruno, Cunha and Mbumo behind Sesko in a 4-2-3-1. Ahmad and Mainu on the bench. I would seriously think Carrick might do that, actually. I do think he's going to play Casemiro, Ugarte. I totally agree with that. So that means Mainu's binned. And then it's Mbumo or Ahmad. So I agree with that. The only thing I would say on Dalot, I know you've put him in there, you said his stock's low. I think that's putting it very politely, my friend. I think, I mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, would Dorgu at right back be an option? He can play on the right. I know more further forward. Could you play Dorgu and then in your team there, it would be Shaw at left back, Heaven and Martinez in a back two. I mean, what you rolling the dice. Hopefully you hit blackjack by 90 minutes, and Haaland's not got a hat trick, and that's all you can do. Look, Heaven. I mean, part of it with Aiden Heaven things, he has shown good potential, and part of me does just think, just run him against Haaland, and just see what the hell happens. Because, in fairness to Heaven, it's Martinez I'm worried about.
Alex, I'm a bit concerned anyway because I think the omens are bad. I never really go on PlayStation or FIFA. I was like, but anyway, you got FIFA career mode. You can start on live points. So obviously, next game up, I was playing Man United. I fucking lost. I thought I didn't need this. I did not need this. We lost fucking 2-1.
This is like granddad's. Yeah, left back short. I don't love anything. I don't love a lot of it, Mr. Broski. I don't love a lot of anything with this team on Saturday. But. Yeah, mate, if you're about, jump in the watch along with us because we're doing it together, obviously.
What's your score predictions?
Yeah, what's your score prediction? How confident are you? I mean, honestly, for United fans to predict this, Christian, it's very, very difficult. If anybody says they're winning, it's nostalgia because we have no idea what Carrick's going to do. It's not like with Amorim. I could predict the game a little bit easier because I know, fuck me, everyone on planet Earth knew what he was going to do.
Alex, do you think there's an element of, if United are to win this game, City have got to just not turn up and have an off day?
If Carrick does the obvious, I just don't. If Carrick does the obvious, which is probably my guy's team here, Dalot, Martinez, Heaven, Dorgu, Casemiro, Ugarte, I just don't see how we don't concede 3. So, unless, in fairness, looking at his team there, you've got Bruno, Cunha and Bumo Sesko in a front 4. Right, okay, well, if them 4 can be, all of them 7 to 8 out of 10, I guess there's a chance we can stay with you, but scoring 3 seems a lot for us in this game, whereas I can see, so, I guess a 3-2 could be on the cards, and if we give a good account of ourselves, I'd probably live with that. I think you'd probably be a bit more pissed off if it was that tight, but yeah, I think, look, there's got to be an element of City no-show, because you're better than us. The only thing
you'd be surprised.
It's just if your defence if we play that front 4 and your defence really struggles, and I mean all 4 of them, you could say Cunha and Nunes, can he give him fits? And in fairness, Sesko is a tough matchup because with Kusanov and Elaine or Ake, because he's very physical. So look, if Sesko plays, he better be winning almost everything. I mean it, Christian. This is the one for me. Don't be getting bullied by Kusanov. Kusanov's rapid. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Anything in the foot race, I don't expect Sesko to win. Anything in the fucking area better win, Christian.
This leans to what I was saying before. You've got to look at the areas we struggle in, and if you go and hit us hard when we're playing the high line, that's United's best hope. If you decide to let us dictate, it's just not going to work. You've got to do the scruffy. If you're going to win this game, you've got to go down the scruffy arse route and hit us where it hurts. That's my opinion.
Broski's feeling confident. It could be 6-1.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And then just to compound things, loss.
Bloody hell, mate. Have you started pre-drinking now to deal with that? Fucking that's trauma if that happens.
Until half time, Pep could overthink and nicking a draw or 1-0. Yeah, is it not going to be high scoring though? I don't know.
Yes.
Who
knows, Alex?
If I come out of it and United have had a good game, for me it's got to be 5 goals in the game or more. I don't see United keeping you out. Like, even if you score 2, I'd probably take that now. And I'm not.
The weird thing is, Alex, right? I don't expect a drilling, a banter aside, because City have not been doing this all year. We've not battered anyone with a massive scoreline. So if we go to OT and put you to the sword with like 4 or 5, I would genuinely be shocked because we ain't done it so far. I mean, if Semenyo came in and was absolutely off his head and Haaland picked up again, and I suppose, look, it could happen. I just don't see it. I do think City are going to try and dictate possession, and I think we're going to be successful at it at large. I expect it could fall into one of them types of games. City will not want a basketball match because that's what I mean. And if you start going down that route, you could hurt us because an inexperienced back line that plays very high up the pitch, I don't really like the sound of that. And you could easily nick a goal, and then we're up against it with inexperienced players. Not going to be good.
I mean, Broski there talking in the chat about Maguire. I mean, this is I mentioned about Maguire and the sitting in.
Yeah.
If United can sit in, I don't mind Maguire and De Ligt playing, to be honest, because I think physically, look, they can. If we're going to be camped in our box,
I think
they can physically match up with Haaland, and Haaland can't use his pace because we'll be so deep. That's not that bad. It's not that bad. If we can't get out, we'll lose. But I mean, you start getting the fits if Heaven and Martinez are being pulled up a bit, and City. I mean, look. Do you think looking at that game? I know it was weird, but United had more possession at the Etihad, and we got battered.
Yeah.
And you lured us onto us in the second half, and then you just had those high lines that Haaland was running through. Is that something that you think like Pep might actually utilise on Saturday, where it's like,
no,
you know what, let's. Like you said, maybe not saying sit off them, but don't press high off Le Mans. Let these lot think they can fucking push up and then decimate them.
I hear where you're coming from, but I don't think City will deploy that tactic. I think that was very much a Ruben Amorim counter punch from Pep, and I think he clipped him, and that was it. I think that's all that was. Look, Pep changes in game. He's a smart manager, so he could do something mad. I think we are going to try and keep the ball from you. Make it like a training session. I honestly think that's what they're going to try and do. But if United can put it on us early, this is why I think if you played Bruno a little bit deeper and he was picking passes, I'd be fucking nailing it long. I'd be nailing it long, trying to hit Sesko, roughing the two centre-backs up. You've got a young lad who was in the Championship 2 weeks ago. You've got Kusanov, who's played very, very few minutes in the Premier League this season. He's going to be in a cauldron of an atmosphere. There's a way to approach this from Man United, but if you don't do that, and then you try and play us at our own game, and you're like, let's mess about with it in midfield, and you're not hitting us in transition, you just head into a very comfortable loss.
Yeah, I want there to be
That's my call.
And there we've got there is De Ligt back. I think he is, mate. I think De Ligt is back.
You were saying that, weren't you?
I think we've got everybody back, but like you've sort of touched on there, risky, because I don't think he's played since Spurs away, is it? I mean, that was before Christmas, so...
Yeah.
Look, very concerning with De Ligt starting, but also he's the guy that you can lean on a little bit, especially if you're playing a back two.
Alex, do you think De Ligt, just a little bit off topic, do you think De Ligt's one of them guys where if you had someone class next to him, do you think you could get a good career out of De Ligt in the back line?
Possibly. De Ligt's a bit of a weird one, isn't he? Because we were hoping when he was young, he was meant to be the guy, wasn't he? He was meant to be the leader.
Yeah, but it happens all the time. That was the same with John Stones.
He was the one that was like playing with Daley Blind at Ajax, and it's like, well, don't worry, De Ligt's an absolute 19-year-old captain at Ajax. He's the leader, and now you're saying, does he need a Varane? And it's like, fuck me, we thought you were the Varane, but look, I mean, backline is that your backline is the hope for us. Get Cunha and Bouma Diallo. Oh man, my head's fucked from thinking about this team. I don't know, Carrick. I mean, what is Carrick doing this week? I mean, how many team sheets has he come up with this week? I mean, honestly, there's arguments for so many options here.
The photocopy is just fucking spewing.
I do think the one you could really think of is the Sesko going direct, just because of the advantage that you could generate there.
I'll tell you the one thing, Alex.
We can't play out. If anything, that is the no-brainer, because we can't play out from the back, and Sesko should dominate everything in the air. So
if United are looking at this smart, you can easily lure us into a few problems, because Kusanov, he plays with his heart on his sleeve is the best way I can put it, and the guy can be very rash at times. He flies out, and I mean flies out. So if you play it smart and you get Cunha dragging him into positions he has no business being in, drawing fouls, you could hurt us. I mean, I'm not looking forward to Max Alleyne in this fixture. I really don't, because I think people have been a little bit catfished by that Newcastle game. Newcastle, for whatever reason, the fans didn't turn up midweek. I thought that was going to be a proper mad atmosphere, trying to retain the trophy. It seemed flat. The players looked flat. And I think people are looking too much into this. I'm already seeing fucking comparisons to John Stones with Max Alleyne, from one fucking match. But they seem to forget. I watched that Brighton match, Alex. Don't get me wrong, it could have been 3. Brighton could have scored 3-4 goals in that match.
No facts. I mean, look, in a weird way, Brighton is the measuring stick for both of us, because they went to the Etihad, caused you problems, and they battered us in the FA Cup. Rumours are true. Carrick's not thought about the 11 because Wilcox is picking it. Yeah, no. Jason Wilcox now. Why don't you just appoint himself the fucking bellend?
Is Berardi going to have his City top on at Old Trafford on Saturday?
Oh, he annoys me, him. The egg. Fucking egghead.
Oh, it's crazy. Man. It's mad time.
Give me a prediction. I mean, let's if you think of United lining up with what you deem the most scariest lineup.
Yeah.
So not if Carrick does something mental. If you think that United are gonna line up with your 4-3-3 or whatever that you think is the most dangerous.
When you say scary, is it going to be like one of them scary movie films where it's like scary but comedy?
Yeah. Hopefully it turns to Scream the movie, and not Scary movie. Yeah, man. I mean, how many goals do you think United could realistically get? I mean, could we get a couple?
Honestly, this is so hard to predict. One thing I will say, okay, if you score within the first 10-15 minutes, I really worry about the back line for the rest of the game. I've seen Kusanov before, and Kusanov had experienced players around him to hold this together. Suddenly, it's all on him. Yeah. He's the guy now. So I am worried if you go and get one and the crowd is up and proper putting us up against it. I do 100% you will score in this game. We concede it every week.
Yeah. Anyway, how many do you think, like I said, are you disappointed if you only score 2?
I mean, when you look at United and the position they're in and they ship goals for fun, you look at our offensive.
Do you think worst case for you, 3-2 City win? Worst case?
Well, no, I think that's... I'm not...
2-2, 3-2 or something like that. If it all goes wrong for City, you think it's going to be in that vicinity?
Mate, if it all goes wrong, it's a loss, isn't it? Like, I'm not that cocky.
I don't know.
Do you think that's not completely out the window. Look, I'm not just saying it because I'm on here or trying to cover myself so I can backtrack. I genuinely am worried about the back line. So, if we do concede early, anything could happen. If you're meaning with an educated opinion here, I think yes, it will turn into a bit of a training session. If City get an early goal, we're gonna dictate play. Probably score another couple. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go 3-1. I think United. I think we'll go 2-0 up. I think United will get 1. They'll huff and puff, and City will put it to bed.
Yeah. No, I
don't think it'll be any sort of. It won't be any sort of demolition job.
No,
I'd be surprised, but
I hear you. Yeah, worst case has to be smash and grab for us. Yeah. I mean, look, that's the interesting thing. Like, none of us know what Carrick is really thinking. Like, is he going to go super low block with Maguire and De Ligt and make it very hard for City and go Jose route or fucking Arteta, you could say, and route 1 to Sesco? It's possible.
I was just laughing at that comment. Viana are about to get revenge for Ruben. I'll tell you what, mate, you better get that guy's name out of his head, because if we end up with Ruben when Pep's gone, that will be the end.
Yeah.
It'll bring Manchester to a standstill.
Facts, yeah. Okay, look, we're coming up to the hour, and the next time we're live will be the game. So, Mr. Broski, thank you for joining us, and I hope you...
Yeah, cheers, my mate.
Hope you find a bit of time to jump on the stream on Saturday and see how we're doing. Hopefully me and you are celebrating and my brother isn't, but looking at your comments above, I think we're all thinking it's going to be a bit of a worry, but it's interesting, man. It's obviously, it's Carrick's first game, it's obviously interesting. Reasonable clean slate, although Fletcher's muddied the waters, with that Brighton game. That is the sour one, innit? Because I can't get that out of my head.
It was a season ender, wasn't it?
Well, we're out the FA Cup, so yeah, it fucking literally
only thing left to play
for. And if we lose the next 2, it is completely curtains, because we can't afford to get 0 points out of the next 6, and then still say you're in a top 4. You're not in a top 4 race. Then you've got to beat one of these 2. And if we lose the City, we ain't going Arsenal winning. I'm sorry, set pieces and shit like that. We're no way we can contain Arsenal. At home against you with your defence, I can at least find something in my head and go, right, okay.
Yeah.
If the planets align and somehow Heaven and Martinez defend Haaland reasonably well, then I can see something. At the Emirates, I'm struggling for any angle with really. Yeah. Anyway, that's for a week away, isn't it? So let's worry about one game at a time, eh?
That's it. No, right, look, okay. It'll be a mad one, and I'm looking forward to it, because either way, one of us is going to be in a bad way. To be honest, mate, if it's a draw, I'm going to be in a bad way, because that's our league title charge done.
Four draws in a row. Imagine that. Fucking hell.
Grim.
Yeah, man. Okay. Thank you for joining us, my friend, and we'll see you on Saturday for the biggie.